What's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. My name is TDBarrett, and today we have the story of how I got fired from the same job twice. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what the next story time is, so you guys drop a like if you guys want to see that. I'll post that as soon as this video hits 1,500 likes. The next story is how I made thousands of dollars in middle school. It might surprise you, but it's actually a pretty cool story. So, to start, obviously today we're talking about me getting fired from the same job twice. Now, there's a lot of things. If you go up to like 500 random people on the street and you ask them this question, have you ever been fired from a job? Some of them, they might say yes. They'll say, oh yeah, this one time. But if you ask them, have you ever been fired from the same job twice? They'd say no. How would you ever get hired back? How would that work? Well, let me tell you guys a story. My name is TDBarrett. So, I am probably 15. Never had a job before because I was always able to think of lucrative ways to make money, as you guys will see in the next video. But never really had a job before. I go to this mall in my city that's an absolutely dead mall. No one goes there, and there's this jersey store that's all sports. Me, obviously knowing a lot about sports, I think I'm a perfect candidate. I enter into the store. Just so happens, like, it was almost like it was meant to be. It was the weirdest thing because at the time it wasn't super easy to get a job. I enter into the store. I say, hey, I'm looking for a job. And the girl is like, oh, yeah. Like, that's awesome. And I hand her a resume. And it's always scary when you, like, pretty much get hired like that. And she's like, yeah, come by and we'll call you and potentially interview you tomorrow. I had nothing on my resume. My resume was the saddest thing you have ever seen in your life. So, go to the interview, absolutely kill it. She asked me sports questions. She immediately told me I know more about sports than anyone else on the staff. So I was like, hey, that's sick. I'll be able to be like kind of the smart guy who talks to people and like is able to have good, meaningful conversations about sports, which about that job, it was actually really, really rewarding. So I get hired. 2 days later, the person who hired me quits. Or I believe she got fired for stealing. The person who hired me 2 days after got fired for stealing. That's the side of the story. So the girl gets promoted and she never hired me. She never loved me at all, like, or really liked me for that matter. I still, to this day, we had times where we got along, but at times it was like I was kind of a pain. So I worked there for about 4 or 5 months, and sorry, that's my phone going off, and it was going really, really well. I loved the idea of being able to interact with people. There was a bunch of like really, really cool people who would come in there. Like, part of working at the mall, and what I loved is the social aspect. Some people who don't necessarily have people to talk to in real life come to the mall to have conversations. And I love that. I was honestly, I think my manager, I remember her telling me once that there was people who came to the store just to hang out with me. So with that, everything seemed to be going well. But then I start hating working for someone. I really never liked the idea of me making minimum wage. Like, just me in my entrepreneurial spirit, I hated the idea that the people up top were making bank off me and off my sales, and I'm sitting here folding t-shirts making minimum wage. And I know that's the world we live in, and I shouldn't hate it, but I honestly do. If my plan in life goes well, I should never have to work under someone, ideally. So this is the situation. I had the first time I had 3 strikes against me, like 3 pretty serious strikes against me, and 1 major complaint from a fellow employee who actually was one of my best friends. So to put this into perspective, this employee who was super close to me actually complained about me. So my first strike was the hashtag massage chair. There was a massage chair sitting directly outside the store. I'm working late one night. I'm on the 5 to 9 shift, and I think I need a massage. Go put some money. I'm the only one working, and I just sit in this massage chair. And I'm just chilling. I'm having a good time. No one notices. I go, I close. The next day, the security guard, the dumb mall security guard, who I still to this day, I think ratted me out twice, tells my manager, and she's like, I had an anonymous source come and tell me that you were getting a massage last night. And I was like, there's no one in this mall. I know it was you, Tony, the security guard. So that was strike 1, because obviously you're not allowed to leave the store unattended, even though I was watching, and if someone would have went into the store, I for sure would have got out of my massage. Strike number 2 was the Chipotle. And I gotta tell you guys about the Chipotle stay, because this was one of the greasiest things I ever did, and I probably would have fired myself. So, obviously working at a jersey store, you can go and take any jersey you want and wear it for the whole day, and it's great. It's an amazing, amazing thing. You can just take any jersey imaginable. So we get these new white Dez Bryant jerseys in. Fresh, hot off the press, Dez Bryant. They are so white, and I'm thinking, I gotta put that thing on, and it's gonna look so good on me. So, I go get my daily sandwich. which has, oh, voice crack, whatever. My daily sandwich is turkey and chipotle. It's from Safeway. Absolutely amazing. I love this sandwich. So I'm wearing my Des Bryant shirt. I go to take a bite out of my sandwich, and like an idiot, I still don't know how I'm this stupid. A gob of chipotle goes right on Des. Automatically, panic mode. I'm like, what do I do here? What do I do? I try and get it. I'm like, it is not coming out. So immediately, I think of what exactly the right thing to do is. So I go, I grab the Des Bryant jersey, and I put it at the back of the rack. And I just hope I'm fired or gone or get a better job before anybody notices. So the Des Bryant goes at the back. Now, I don't hear about this for like a month. I think I'm in the clear. I think I'm good. But then my manager does I don't know what she said, but the guy who was working with me at the time of the Chipotle stain ended up ratting me out. I'm pretty sure she threatened everyone's job because she knew it was me, and she just wanted someone to say that it was this Brett guy who ended up getting the Chipotle on the Des Bryant jersey. So, of course, I get ratted out. I don't think I ever confessed. I don't think I ever went up on the stand and confessed to that. But I don't remember if I had to, because we did get a discount. I don't remember. I didn't have to buy it. I feel like I figured out a way. I don't remember what happened, but that was strike 2. Now, strike 3 was the folding t-shirts throw. Now, when you work with your best friend, you think you're invincible. Okay, he's my buddy. It's a good time. We're having a good time. We're closing, and he is doing jersey checks on a ladder. Now, I don't know why I was like this at this age. I still don't know why I was like this, but I thought it'd be funny to throw t-shirts at him while he was doing it and just joke like, oh, now you gotta fold them. Don't ask, okay? It was stupid. He was my friend, though. He laughed the next day. So, blah, 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 told me you were throwing t-shirts at him. Wait, what? I don't think I was. You were. Bam. Then I get hit with the first time I got fired. So 3 strikes, they're allowed to fire you. So I walk into work. This time, the second time I was actually blind when I couldn't even see that when I got fired. So I walk into work, and I remember the person sitting at the front counter, and it was my friend. And he's sitting there with this look on his face like he knows what he did. He knows. It's like on Game of Thrones when they betray someone and someone walks in and they're about to die. He's looking at me like I'm the guy who's about to die, and he's like, he knows he's part of it. He knows he said something, but he's just gonna maintain that straight face. So I got fired. In the back, she comes in. She's got my 3 notices. She says, sign these. You are being terminated from this job. And I said, okay. And I signed them, and I dipped. I got a sandwich, and I drove myself home. Okay, that was the first time I got fired. 6 months pass. Okay? They hired 2 people after me, both of which sold from the company. I was looking really, really good at this time. They were, and my inside scoop friend who did sell me out ended up telling me that how terrible the employees after me ended up being. So I decided to do this, and it was honestly a joke. I told my parents because they've always said I was one of the smoothest talkers ever. They've always said that I could do anything in sales. So I was like, do you think I could get that job back? And they're like, there's no way you can get that job back. They're like, there's absolutely, who would hire you again after what happened? And I said, I'm going to get that job back. Just watch. So I still had the number of the person, couple texts, couple phone calls. I had convinced them I was a new, mature man who just wanted to get back out there and wanted to sell jerseys. I was passionate about it. I convinced them, and boom, the boy is back. Now, the first month I was there, they had a promotion. $50 EB Games card to whoever in the whole company who sells the most memberships. And guess who does it? By a landslide. The killer salesman, TDBarrett. I absolutely destroyed the competition. My manager's happy. She's thinking this guy is a new me. Now, the next month, there was no incentive, and I sold 0 memberships. That was not strike 1, but I think in the back of her head, she was thinking, okay, I don't think this guy, I think he's just doing it for incentive, which I think you should always incentivize your employees. Second time, this is the first reason of the second time. There was a bench in the back, okay? Every store in the back, there's a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you guys ever worked retail. Bunch of different things in the back of the store. There was a bench. And I like to sit. There was no chairs at this job. You'd go 4 hours without seeing a person. And I had to stand the whole time. So I was like, yo, I'm bringing out that bench. So I started bringing out the bench. My manager tells me before shift, I'm going in for my 5 to 9 shift. I have my collared shirt on. She says, do not bring out the bench. And I say, okay, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to bring up the bench. She leaves for 5 minutes. I grab the bench. She was messing with me. She outsmarted me in that instance. She comes back 5 minutes later. Lights into me. Absolutely lights into me. So that was, I believe, I don't remember on the termination notice, but I believe that was one of the first strikes. Second strike involved Wi-Fi. For the longest time when I worked there, we did not have Wi-Fi until this dude across the way, I forget where he was from. I think from somewhere in, I don't know if it was, I think he was from Dubai, to be honest. And he opened up a new store and he had Wi-Fi. And me and him, we were close. I gave him some discounts. He gave me the Wi-Fi password. So we now had Wi-Fi, which opened up a can of worms in here. Because now I could do anything. Boom, bring my laptop, set up my Netflix underneath the desk, bring out the bench. This is a Saturday. So there is no way my manager's coming in. Absolutely no way my manager is going to come in now, because there's no point to come in on a Saturday. No one wants to come in on the weekend on their day off. So I set up camp. Me and the person I'm working with, I'm the reason that it happened. I took the blame for it because I was like, yeah, this is my fault. We set up camp, and then dumb Tony, the security guard, I'm pretty sure he must have walked by because she got a stress call that something was going down. She comes in, and I have never seen someone fuming the way she was fuming. I've never seen anyone this mad. Walks into the store, looks at me, and is like, oh, and I knew I was done. I was like, this is bad. So, obviously takes my computer. I finished the shift, but she's like, what are you doing? Like, are you seriously watching Netflix right now? And I was like, there's no one in the store. So that was strike 2. Now, strike 3 involves an overnight slow pitch tournament. Okay? In Alberta, whatever, you guys know from, there's an overnight slow pitch tournament where you pretty much play throughout the whole night. Now, I am like leaving to go to school to play football. I'm not super serious about this job anymore. I've kind of played out the whole thing. So I go to this overnight slow pitch tournament, and I work at 10 o'clock the next day. 9 o'clock the next day. So I was up all night. I drive back, and I get back to my house at about 7. Now, I work at 8:30. So right when I got back, manager called me. I was like, yeah, I'll be there in a second. I remember sitting on my couch, and I said, I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm just going to shut my little eyes. So I do. 8 hours later, I wake up to 18 missed calls, 17 text messages, and I am thinking, oh, I do not know what to do. So I do what any man would do in that situation. I go to the store and I give him a 2 weeks notice. I said, I'm dipping out of here. Yes, it was fun. See you guys. I just missed a full 8-hour shift. I apologize. I slept right through it. So I'm like, I'm giving him my 2 weeks notice. So I think that's worked. I think that my 2 weeks notice has gone through. I gave it to the assistant manager. She was cool. We were friends. Everything is looking fine and dandy. And then I walk in, and this day, this is the funny part, I had an eye appointment that day. I had to get eye drops, so I was blurry. I could not see anything, so my mom had to drive me to work. At 17 years old, before school, my mom had to drive me to work because I couldn't see. I was legally not allowed to drive. So she drops me off. I go out. I had handed in my 2 weeks notice, and I get the same look from the assistant manager. She's looking at me like, and she knows it's about to go down. I walk into the back of the store, and there is the same. It was like deja vu. 3 write-ups. You didn't even have to tell me what to do. Sign the dotted line. Sign the check. See ya. Call my mama. Go grab Taco Tuesday because I wanted to eat some tacos. Mom come pick me up. I said, Mama, I got fired. I'm still going to be successful though. Don't worry about me. She said, oh, she said, you're a strange kid. I think that's what she said to me. But hey, I got fired from the same job twice. Makes for a cool story years later. God bless you guys. If you guys want to hear how I made thousands of dollars in middle school, drop a like on this video and I'll see you all next time.